My name is Frasier-Moore. I've been a Vater artist since 2001. I first started playing drums growing up in church. My father's a minister, and the whole gospel realm was my start. But I started getting into other drummers like Alex Acuna and Vinny and Dennis, and it was like this whole world of drummers that I never heard of that was super amazing, and that started the whole journey for me. I remember the first record, John Petitucci on the corner. The first time I heard Vinny play a song, it was called Bio Condos or something like that. It's amazing, man. Me and Little John Roberts, who was another one of my influences. Little John was like one of my major influences growing up in Philadelphia. Playing in church was one thing, but then I veered off to like professional gigs and having to learn music and be a part of the music, and that started out, it seemed like it just caught fire, and I started out with Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, and playing with Patti LaBelle and playing with Aaliyah and Genuine, and it just seemed like God had blessed me at that point to just to be in people's favor and to learn my material and do what I had to do. So throughout my bio, I try to remember it, but God has really, really blessed me to play with artists like Usher or Janet Jackson, Les Nubians, Christina Aguilera, Madonna. Wow. You can understand that it's just a journey throughout music and throughout time, and I've been on the road now consistently. I'm going to tell my age in this one, but 17 years. 17 years, yeah. Got gray hairs too. Madonna, there was like 80 and 92,000 people to like a House of Blues tour. It's tough, but it's good at the same time because you're used to putting so much energy into these big arenas, and it's a workout. You have to work out every day, and you have to get massages, and now it's back to being with my boys, playing great venues like the House of Blues. So now it's more organic. You know, it's going from a massive show to a more organic atmosphere where we can feel the music and talk to each other and have the freedom to really express what we feel in this music. So I love it. It's great, man. I love it. Preparing for an audition for me is like it's like me becoming one with the music and the artist. I study the beats. I study the other musicians' parts. I study the form. I study the sounds of the drums. I study the format. I study the vibe of the music. I study the artist because I believe that's what really takes you to the point where an artist can feel what you're saying. You know, a lot of guys will come in and play like a lot of licks over top of it, and sometimes you have to realize this artist has been hearing this track for a year now that way. So what I try to do for auditions is I study all the kick drum placement, snare drum, hi-hats, everything, the fills, the vibe of the fills, so that I can become a part of that material. And it's better. You can reach the artist at that point. You can touch them more because you're within the confines of the music. One of my most embarrassing moments. And you know what? I'm gonna tell the story because it really has nothing to do with me, but I got the heat for it. So I was on stage with a very familiar artist, and we didn't have time for sound check. So she got the keyboard player in her wedge, and that was it. Long story short, the keyboard was transposed 2 keys up. So as you can imagine, she's singing 2 keys up, the band is playing 2 keys down, and it was a catastrophe. And the reason that that was the most embarrassing moment for me is because I got fired for that. I got fired and I was not in any key, you know? So I have to say that was one of my most embarrassing times or points that I was a part of a band. I got fired for that, man. Can you believe that? I don't even have a key, but whatever. And one of my best moments was being on stage with Madonna in front of 92,000 people. I had never experienced anything like that, playing Olympic Coliseums overseas. 92,000 people. At that particular point, I was thankful for everything, my family, my children, and the opportunity that God has given me to do what I do. So that was probably my worst and best time. Came on board with Vater in 2001. I joined the family, and I tried a couple of different designs. I tried the recording, but I think what completed it for me about this stick was we made it longer, and we changed the tip just a little bit, and it reminds me of an old stick that I used to use. It's almost the same type of feel, but it has a better weight. So I think this stick is the perfect match for me. It's longer. I don't have to reach that much, and the weight helps me to balance really good, especially using in-ears. It doesn't give me a false sense of how hard I'm hitting or anything like that. So yeah, this is my signature stick. These are all my signature sticks, and I love them. The perfect length, the perfect weight. You can check them out. Just a little piece of advice to all these amazing drummers that I see that's coming up, and they're amazing. They have tremendous potential and everything. But I would like to say that definitely stay authentic to the records. I know we're here to enhance the live shows, but if your retention, being on time, paying attention to the records, being presentable, being a nice guy, you know, you only have an hour to a 2-hour show a day, and the other 23 to 22 hours you have to live with people. So just keep that in mind and just be an open guy and easy to get along with. The dream gig for Brian Frasier-Moore, is Sting. He knows it, and I love him, and I will play for Sting. I have to. But that is my ultimate gig. Musically, just his style of writing, the fact that he's a musician, just everything about this guy. Vinny used to play with him, and that's like one of my favorite drummers. And this is like the ultimate gig for me. So, I'm coming, Sting. I'll be there. The crazy thing about doing television performances is that you have to be on the spot, ready to go. You never get a fair chance, to be honest. It's always rush, you go, your mix is not right. So television and anything like that is very last minute, on the spot. I did the ESPY Awards, and it was 82, we had 82 charts on there, and what happened is the musical director we would rehearse the whole chart, but in his headphones he's getting a countdown and he only has a 20-second spot, so he says, hey, we're gonna go from bar 12 to bar 20 and cap at the end. So it's this type of thing with the television. You just have to be so secure in who you are and what you know, and keep your eyes open and pay attention, because things are flying and you just always want to pay attention and give your best performance. When I get home from a tour, whether it's 6 months, 5 months, 2 months, a year, whatever, I faithfully take cooking classes, okay? I know the guys are going to tear me up about this, but yes, I do take cooking classes. I like to cook. I like to go to museums. I like to take photos. Not like this camera here. This is Pretty good camera. But I like the whole Renaissance, the whole old videos, old records, that type of thing. So go ahead, make fun of me. Keith Harris, all you guys make fun of me for cooking classes. So I've taken up enough of your time. I'm about to get out of here. I just want to sign off. This is Brian Frasier-Moore. Philadelphia represent. Buy my drumsticks. All right, buy a ton of them. Buy some for your grandmother, your grandfather, your church. Brian Frasier-Moore. All right, buy them all. Bug them. Buy them. Get them. All right. Philadelphia always. I'm out.